Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about your land business source of assessor data and bulk mail. These are two tools. Your data, the stuff that you use land ownership data that you use to send out offers, right? Mm-hmm. And how you get those offers in the mail. How fast you do, how cheap it is. These are things that, thankfully, Jill and I have worked out to the end. I mean, there's no better place to get data or send out mail, specifically for this. If you send out a mailer for a church, there's going to be better places to go and better ways to send out a newsletter or a grocery store. But for sending offers to owners, we've got it figured out, and we're going to share it with you.
Thank you.
Before we do, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Okay. Jason asks, this is my first acquisition since signing up for Silver membership, and it looks like it's going to be 120 acres at $250 an acre, which is $30,000, in an area where the low-end comps for similar acreage are $880 an acre or $105,000 plus, and the parcel could very easily be subdivided into 3 40 acres with the low-end comps for the 40s at $1,000 an acre.
So you're looking to buy a property for $30,000 and sell it for 120.
150 or 120, depending if you want to divide it up. Or 105. Excuse me.
So let's just say if it all kind of goes sideways, $120,000, you're going to make $100,000 on this deal.
This is the best.
This is why we started Land Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't start it to buy $500 properties and sell them for $1,000. That's a great way to learn, a fantastic way to learn. But this is what this is all about. You do 10 deals like this. Hold on a second, Jill. Then there's a bunch more to this question, but I want to make this huge point.
Okay. It's your show.
If you do 10 of these deals this year, and it sounds like you're all set up because Jill's about to say this guy's got more property if it all works out, you're going to make $1 million this year.
Mm-hmm.
I want that to sink in. He just signed up for membership. He went through the program. He's going to make $1 million. He might not do it in 12 months. He might do it in 18 months or 24 months, but he's got all mentally set up to make $1 million.
Well, let's just say this. If you want to dissect this, if he just does it the easy way, buys it for 30 and sells it for 100,000, that's one deal, $70,000 profit. I could do 10 of those. I could do one of those a month.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And you're approaching $100,000. $1 million.
Exactly. So how cool is that? And if you can do one, you can do 2, and you could do 4. Okay, so back to the question. The seller is an 87-year-old man. He told me if this deal goes well that he'll send me an additional 320 acres he owns in an even more desirable area.
So let's do the math. He's got 320. He's got 120 now that we're going to make
70,000 at least.
Well, 100 because he is going to subdivide it. Because by the time we're done with this question, I'm going to convince him to subdivide it. So that's 100 for 120. Double that. He's going to make about $350,000 to $500,000 from this one deal. Go ahead.
All right. The parcel straddles the flat upper area and lush lower wetlands of a mildly sloped butte-style hill, about 200-foot elevation difference, and has access on both the lower and the upper approaches.
Sounds like a dream.
Man.
Great description.
Nearby neighbors have some homesteads in the area, so I can easily point to them as examples of people making it work. And it's going to look sublime after I fly my cinema drone across it at sunrise. Boy, talk about doing it all right here.
No,
Thank you, Jason, for actually studying the whole program. Obviously, you did it start to finish. Thank you, and are setting this up to do this beautiful.
Now we know which Jason this is too.
Right. With a title company, if I do a double close, which I plan to do once I find a buyer, that'll mean I risk a total of 64 cents and will pocket more than I make per year at my former job. That kind of ROI is bonkers.
Yep.
Do I need to pick my jaw up off the floor and get used to this?
Yes.
Or is this beginner's luck?
No. This is what Jill and I deal with all the time.
Last sentence, it says, I have an inexpressible level of gratitude for Stephen and Jill. I'm holding you responsible for all the smiling I've been doing today.
Thank you, Jason.
Wow. All right. I just got goosebumps. That is so awesome.
This is why we fight.
I know. Jason, thank you for sharing this and writing this. And thank you, producers, for putting this in here because I hadn't spotted this comment yet.
Me either.
So this is fantastic.
So this is very timely, this question, because this week we're actually just about ready to wrap up. So you've done 10 deals. Now what? Mm-hmm. These are the kinds of transactions that you should start looking at.
Right.
And it doesn't sound to me like he's real worried about not having the money.
Right.
He's just finding the deals, and the money comes really easily.
It does. I just talked about that with somebody the other day. It does. If there's a good deal out there, none of us are going to let it go to waste.
That's right.
So...
Great work. I'm
awesome.
sort of speechless.
I'm a little that's what I was just going to say. I kind of know what to say now.
Today's topic, your land business. Oh, it turns out I'm not speechless. Your land business source of assessor data and bulk mail. This is the meat of the show. You've done 10 deals, and it's time to get serious. Next week, by the way, if you've done 100 deals, now it's time to get serious. A lot of people come to us from different source places in the landscape or the land world. We have a couple of other people who teach new people how to buy and sell land, and in my opinion, we have a much different take on it. Their stuff's valuable, what they provide, but if you want to do it the grown-up way, our way's the best. We are licensed providers for all of the major sources of assessor data. And we own our own bulk mail company because we got so frustrated with using other bulk mailer companies all over the country.
And it got expensive.
Yes, yeah, and with the expense. So the whole meat of the show, the point of this is that you need to work these two things out if you're going to take this business seriously, or if you're going to take any type of real estate acquisitions seriously at all. I cut my teeth in commercial real estate a lot of years ago, and since then, I was frustrated back then about getting good data, and we have figured it out.
Oh my gosh!
What ends up happening is that here's the background on data real quick. There's 3,144 counties/parishes in the country, and each of them have to send tax bills out every year to landowners, to property owners. And it's all organized, obviously, now on computers, with very few exceptions. But it's all in very different formats. They all use completely different methods to collect this data and send out the tax bills. So it's companies like RealQuest, CoreLogic, and Black Knight, Title Pro 24/7, and other sources of data that we are actually licensed providers for. It's their job in life to take this messy data and put it into a format and put it in a presentational format for us to be able to use as normal people. We don't have PhDs in data. Jill and I took it upon ourselves to take it many steps further. So yeah, if you call these people and you say, I really would like to have all the 5-acre properties in Mojave County, Arizona, please. It just doesn't work like that. I'm glad you're laughing.
It's hilarious.
They're going to laugh at you. What they want you to do is sign up in subscription, and then it costs 62 cents a record, no matter how many you pull, and all this crazy convoluted PhD level data weirdo stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, we couldn't have made it easier. Because we pull so much data, and now our group pulls so much data, have negotiated rock bottom prices with these data providers. And they love us because we teach how to use this stuff so they don't have to.
That's what I was just going to say.
So it's very mutually beneficial. This took 20 years to build this thing.
Yeah.
So if you've done 10 deals and you've linked along, or you found some internet lists from China, or however you got your data and got these 10 deals done, so that's great. But if you want to make it in this business, just trust me.
Cut to the chase.
You gotta get a good source of data and learn how to use it. And I'm not. This is not a commercial by any stretch. There is no other place that I know of on the internet to get access to data for as cheap as we provide it.
I love it. My favorite is when I talk to people that have gone, they've done it wrong, and then they come to us and go, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever gone to a county yourself and tried to get that, because you didn't know anything else. You know, a lot of people, it's like, they just didn't know it was possible. But they went straight to the county, and then they're trying to understand it, and it wasn't free. Sometimes it's a couple $100. I've heard people, it's a couple $100 in a month to get data from XYZ county. And then when you get back, you're trying to figure out, oh, great, how do I decipher all this? I don't even, all of that. And then now I got to get it into my own system. Now I got to scrub it down. It takes forever. So I've talked to lots of people that have done that. And that's for me kind of the best. Like if they've done it by the hard way, by the time they come to us and I say, let me just show you what's possible, and they log into RailQuest Pro, they go, holy cow,
I know.
What was I doing?
I still remember the first day I logged into RailQuest.
What the heck?
First day.
I didn't know this existed. Oh my gosh. Oh, and look, there's deeds here and reports, and oh my gosh.
We get two types of reactions to Land Academy from potential members. The first one is, oh my God, this is so expensive. What the hell? And then we get, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I tried to do this for 2 years, and this fills in all the gaps.
Yeah. It is not. I seriously, I'm sitting, and I know this because I have hundreds of members behind me too that will back support this. The money, what I know, our membership and what was provided and everything is like, I don't know, a fifth of what, or more or less of what it would cost you to go get all the stuff on your own, A. And B, some of the stuff you can't even get. Like Title Pro 24/7, you can't get it as an individual.
Right, you have to be part of a group.
Well, you have to be like a title company. That's
here's how I know it's the best deal, because we use these tools since 2004, and we were a regular provider who walked in off the street, and it was 4 times, like Jill said, 4 times as expensive.
Right.
Before we started Land Academy, to use the exact same tools that we now use because we're a group. Mm-hmm. It's not a commercial. I'm just saying we have figured this data thing out.
Mm-hmm. That's true. A year into Land Academy, we were all individually spending between $200 and $275 for CoreLogic data separately on our own, and that's all. That's it. And we were happy with that.
What do we pull, like 500,000 records a month, but the whole group?
Oh my gosh, it's a lot. I think it's more than that. I have to look it up.
So think about the discount that's available because of that. So now you're part of a group that's just this. And the same thing now on to bulk mail. Anybody who knows anything about bulk mail knows that the more you do, the cheaper it is. And we have grossly exceeded, I think, 100 and something thousand a month units. Mm-hmm. So multiply that times the price of a stamp. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's easy $1 million a year. I think we're pushing 1.3 million a year as an average.
Right.
And that's low.
Right.
Because our group is still relatively small, you know. So, and I see the orders that go through. So, I know it's coming. It's going to get better.
Bulk mail. I mean, we've had, Jill's brought it up before the show. We've had members who have purchased equipment like the size of your car, put it in their garage, and set it all up, just because they thought they're going to save. They did all the math and thought they're going to save 5 cents a unit. Yep.
It was so funny.
They ended up selling all the crap on eBay for
that's very true.
1/10 of what they paid.
Yeah, it was one member. And you know what? It was funny because at the same time, you and I were going down that path. You and I were meeting with the top providers of the equipment, and I was seriously looking at our office space going, well, if I give up this office over here and I move this team over here, I can put this unit in here and it can just run. And we both took a step back and said, oh, that's the wrong way to go. It really is, because you're not going to save it.
Are we in the real estate business or this?
Or the mail business, and I don't want to be in the mail business.
So in the end, we took advantage of the 2 relationships we have in the country that this is just their business, and they're pros at it. They have multi-million-dollar printing presses and stuff. Mm-hmm. And again, negotiated a smoking deal financially with the person who knows everything about the business, just like these data providers, and pass it on. Mm-hmm.
Well, another thing I was going to share too, ours is offerstowners.com. It's offers in the number 2 owners. What's great about it is how the speed. I was telling someone the other day too that, man, I don't remember what the cutoff, I want to say like noon. I know noon for sure. If you upload your ready to go template of exact the columns, that you want, which shows seller and the address and the APN and your offer price and all those columns ready to go. You upload that one Excel file into our site, and then you also upload your Word document that's already got your company name and your address and your signature block and your little tweaks, however you wanted to make it for your company. You upload those 2 documents. That's it. By noon, my team will complete the mail merge for you and get it in the mail that same day.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's in the mail the same day.
Same day. Yeah,
That's
it's that
fantastic.
fast. So, the only hang up is when we send to people right now, which where we're working out too with some of our members are like, we've done so many orders, they don't need to preview them every time. But because that's the only hang up is sometimes my guy does it in an hour, and then the preview sheet goes to the customer, and then you look it up and you got to just eyeball it, make sure, yeah, that looks good, send it. That's usually the only hang up. So if you're standing by watching for our thing and you eyeball it and preview it, it's in that day, man.
We've come a long way.
I know.
Seriously.
It's that fast.
I didn't even know it was that fast. And I own the company.
Yeah, that's right.
It's awesome, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So the real deal is this: data and the quality of data, the freshness of the data. And the other thing about Assessor data is that if you've ever used Assessor data at all, it's, there's a tremendous amount of information about each piece of real estate. Everything you ever want to know about: assessment, past purchase price, past sale, bulk,
liens,
how many people own multiple properties in the area. I mean, it's truly endless, and all that stuff matters because of this. We live and die by how we price these mailers, and you need all this information. This is what we teach. You need all this information to price this stuff properly, or you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your postage. And that's huge. If you really do the math on let's say 1,000 unit mailer, you're going to spend about 10 cents per record, but you're going to spend about 50 cents for mail. So you want to make sure that you're pricing the stuff properly, and then you're pulling all kinds of things, scrubbing out all kinds of data that it just doesn't matter. So I don't want to make this sound incredibly complicated, because it's really not, but there really is a to B to C to D linear thought process to get through a mailer so that it yields acquisitions.
I was going to add the savings in money too, because one of the things that we can do is pull out the people that we don't want to send offers to. Like, say, it doesn't so much in land, because it's hard to get a loan on land, but more like with houses, whatever you're looking for, pull out people with a mortgage. And we want to make sure that we are sending offers to the group that don't meet the criteria that we don't want, if that makes sense. Maybe I don't want to mail to anybody that's lives out of state. I mean, whatever it is. I mean, whatever your particular criteria is, you can drill it down. That specific is a lot of it.
Here's some mistakes I've made in the distant past about who I've sent letters to, and just it was a waste of time.
Perfect.
Post offices.
Right.
You don't want to send property to any, like a hospital organization, and on. Maybe you want to get all the I always take out industrial zone property, so zoning's in there. So you can really scrub down if you're good at this after learning and taking some time to do it. Your yield percentage on how many units you send out. By the way, we're at about 250 to 300 in land for every property we buy. And for houses, about 2,500 to 3,000. So, we make $20,000 or $30,000 on every house that we do, and it costs us about $700 or $800 to send the mail out. And land's even more attractive from an ROI standpoint. So, we have this worked out. Mm-hmm. And you really need good quality data. I can't express that enough to succeed at this. Again, this week is, so you've done 10 deals. Now what? You need to up your game in data.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mail we kind of handle for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any other real estate-based bulk mail company out there that specifically sends offers to owners. No. I think there's a lot of bulk mail companies, but
they don't understand what we do.
Specialize in this, yeah.
I'm still finding people that don't. It's fun, actually. I like it. Most people are like, wait a minute. You're sending an offer? what the heck? Not just I want to buy your house. I still hit that all the time.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I mean, here's a few ways this is how you can kill your real estate business. Send an offer that doesn't have an offer amount in it. I mean, send a letter to current resident, not to the actual person.
Right.
Those are things that we've learned over the years that you have to, if you send out an offer that people are going to throw away.
Right. Like a postcard. You know how it is. It's like if you come home and there's a postcard, let's all be honest, everyone. When was the last time you took a postcard hanging off your front door and sat down and read it?
Yeah.
Right? No, you don't. You've already collected the mail and you're walking in the front door. You throw it in with the junk mail part of your mail and it just gets tossed. You don't even look at it.
Or picture this, the flip side of what Jill's saying is you get an offer in a business envelope and you open it and it says, "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I based on my research, I understand you own 40 acres in Nevada. Well, I'd like to offer you $4,200 cash for that. And we'd like to close late next week if that's all right with you. Please let us know. Either way, thanks." And then for further research, look this up, make sure we're the real people. We've done 15,000 deals. Is that something you're going to take to your spouse and say, we're never going to use this property anyway?
Right.
And if we list it, do you want to just take this $4,200? Susie needs a new car anyway.
Right.
That's what goes on. And you can't do that without data.
Right.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 20 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy show. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode where we discuss land business automation.
And we answer your questions posted on our free online community, landinvestors.com.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I hope that was interesting.
That's not our most interesting show, but it's just data is so important.
I know.
I can't describe it enough. Obviously, I tried.
And again, you know what it is? Yeah, you tried. You don't know it until it's almost like you don't know what you're missing until you get in there and see it.
Yeah.
And then you go, wow.
Right.
So that's it. I wish there was a good way for me. I know we have videos and things out there that show it. So and I wish there was a way I could turn it on for everybody and then turn it off, but there isn't.
Well, we've got some good surprises coming up throughout the year.
Yeah.
But we're always thinking about better ways to do this. Easier, faster. In fact, automation is one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you are listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.